taking advantage of features in Booj CRM, and posting a more comprehensive website.
Let's go ahead and get into it. Jeremy, I think we have you set to go first. Let's talk about how to get the most out of these dang products, right?
Love it. Yeah. So my passion, guys, is to help figure out, the tools we have and how to use them best, right? And not being as a crutch, we really want to make sure these tools and resources are benefit to us, right? How often do we go in there and we get frustrated with technology? I get frustrated with technology on a daily basis. So I know everybody else is getting frustrated with it. So my goal here in the next 15 minutes, guys, is to share with you, 5 things you can use right now in the Remax Tech platform, CRM and side of the campaign side, that will bring you closings, right? That's what we want. We need more closings. So that's what I'm going to share with you, a few tips and tricks. Big things I'm going to share with you guys is some settings we got to go have set up. Talk about tags slightly. We're going to talk about single campaigns, which I believe is very powerful. And for those that aren't sending it, we need to start sending those out tomorrow. We're talking about recurring campaigns. There's 2 I'm going to share with you that I absolutely love. You should share out all the time. And then drip campaigns. And then I'm all about automation, guys. So I think that automation is going to be a key to growing your business. So I'm going to share a little about that. All right, you ready? Let's dive in. So I'm going to share my screen with you, do a lot of live drive, guys, just to show you what it is. So if for those who aren't familiar, even if you use another CRM, let me share with you guys that you can still use the Remax Tech CRM. You can still use it. All your Remax leads, if you have it set up correctly, and Heather's going to share with you in a little bit how you can build your website up to generate more of these leads, they will automatically get added to your Remax platform, right? They're your Remax CRM. So how do we manage that stuff, right? The big things I want to go over real quick is go over your settings. Let's make sure your settings are right, guys. That's kind of number 1 of my book. Even when new agents, even existing agents kind of roll into this thing, you got to get your settings right. So what I always do is when you go to the platform, you go to settings up top right, click your little beautiful picture up there. Well, I hope it's beautiful. Go to settings, and then you go way over here to contacts and leads, and you go down to offered leads. This is kind of the base bone here, guys, of where you need to get started, right? So you must put in 10 different zip codes here in this area. This tells people, so if I'm Heather, I'm Heather today, by the way, and I visit remax.com and I'm looking for a property in 40513, and I find a property in 40513, and I submit a contact information about a property in 40513. If I have, as an agent, 41513 here, you are put into the rotation of getting that lead. So if 50 agents have 40513 as their zip code in here, it's going to round robin these remax.com leads to you if you have that zip code. Just how it works. So you benefit here by having all 10 zip codes filled out. I would recommend, and you can, if you've done this platform, had it set up before, make sure there's no duplicates. Make sure there are 10 individual zip codes that are all different. All right. The second section here that people complain about sometimes is make sure the kind of leads you want are set up here, right? So if you do not want rentals, have that unchecked. And I'll give you a little tip to this that works great for our agents, and Heather's probably shaking her head on this one, but honestly, you go in here and you put only send me leads for properties in this range, and you put it over 10,000. It works great. It gets kind of rid of those all the rental leads that come through. It kind of drops those off. Now, if you want rental leads, rock it, kill it, try to convert them, right? Go for it. But if you don't, be sure this rental leads turned off, and make sure this number is at least 10,000 or more. That's my tip of the week on that one. Also, make sure your phone number is put in here at the bottom. If you don't have your phone number in there, you're not going to get a text when that lead happens, and you're going to probably miss out on it. Because how often do we check our email on a daily basis? Probably not enough to get a lead right off the bat, right? So make sure the text is set up directly that way. All right, let me throw my chat down here. Okay, so there's your settings, guys. The next kind I want to kind of dive into is tags. I live and breathe by tags inside my CRM. So for example, if you get a new lead, make sure you have your tags set up correctly. Like for example, you can see a couple tags on this one is buyer, new lead videos, buyer, A client, B client. Depends on if you're a Buffini guy or you're not a Buffini guy, depending on what system you got set up. I've got some that use just buyers and sellers. I've got some that use ABC system, right? A's are your best ones, that's your referrals. B's are your next ones, C's are your next ones. It's really up to you. You guys choose how you want to run this thing. But I definitely recommend going and setting this up. So if you go to settings and you go down here to settings and you go to contacts and leads, there's tags right here. And if you're ADDD or what you call it, I don't know what the best word to say it is. If you really love the color coding stuff, you can color code the crap out of this. Is that you? All right. So you can, if you're a light person, have fun with it, right? Color code the way you want it. Red is your people that you're really going to go hot and after. Green is the ones that you're maybe steady, whatever. Make up your own color code system, but have fun with it. So go ahead and set up some tags in here, and then you can really organize your contacts. So what I love about it is I can quickly grab here. If I know my A clients, I can go to manage filters, search by tags, and that's how I usually do most of my searches anyway, my filters this way. And then I choose what tag I want. So if I got A clients in here, which I don't know if this agent does, here it is, A client, I can quickly scroll through my A clients as quickly as possible, right? There's some big features in there. Some cool things you can do. I can quickly email these clients by clicking the email button, right? And it comes from your Remax email address, so which works out fantastic that way. Okay, so tags are all set up. They're in buckets. That's the way I look at tags. These are your buckets of clients, right? How are you going to put what bucket you're going to put your client in? That's the best way I think of tags, is that way. So now we've got our tags. What can we do with them now, right? So I'm going to share with you at least one thing that I think every agent should do tomorrow, and that is invite your agents that do not have an account yet to create an account, right? Because guys, if you could do this all the time, what if you picked up 3 new accounts on your website? And Heather will share that in a little bit. 3 new accounts on your website, guys, that it could be a game changer. That could get you a new client. So here's the deal. If you just go to campaigns and you go down here to, I'm gonna do a reoccurring, okay? So I'm using tags as a reoccurring here. So I'm gonna go reoccurring, and every single month, I'm gonna send out a create an account email, okay? So all I have to do is hit add campaign. I've already got one created here just as a shortcut to show you what it looks like. Create an account, and then check this out. I'm going to send this to, I'm going to delete this so I don't, I'm going to create this email to go to everybody in my database that does not have an account. And this is automated. So this is something you set up one time, you don't worry about it. So all you have to do is go down to recipients here, manage criteria, and check this out. Has accounts. Pretty simple, right? Manage criteria, has an account. This little drop down happens here that says has an account. And I'm going to say no, they do not have an account, right? So what this means is every single month, it will send this email out on a certain day. And anybody that does not have an account with your website, with Remax.com, they will get this invite link to create an account on your website, okay? So this is automated. So now,
can you explain just kind of more what you mean by account? Some people don't realize the account process.
So for example, if I go to this agent's website and I pull it up, what it means, guys, is if they create an account on your website, the way I look at it is you got them now, right? It's just like when you go to a Zillow and create an account. If you create an account on your website or Remax.com, then you can track what likes they do, what searches they're doing. You can track all that inside of the Remax Tech CRM, guys. So you want the many people as possible to create an account on your website, because if they're using your website, guess what? They're not using the MLS. They're not using Zillow.com. They're not using Realtor.com. They're using your website, which puts you in control, right? So hopefully it makes sense that the more people you can go here to my account, create an account up here, and create this account, the better off you are, right? Because inside the CRM, once they create an account, I don't know if this agent's done very well with this, but I'm gonna go to contacts here. Let's say, for example, if this David Maynard create an account on your website, then you can actually go here inside of David Maynard, go to search activity, and this one doesn't, but it would actually show you his favorite properties, hidden properties, his search history, all right here, even his saved searches of that client, because they're using your website, right? So it really makes sense to push people to create an account, right? Especially if you can automate, even better, right? So if you go to campaigns, you go to reoccurring, and I'm gonna go to this create account one I just did. You've got this set up now where anybody that's gonna get this email that doesn't have an account each month, and I'm gonna send this on a monthly basis. I'm gonna send on the 2nd of every month. See, day of the month, 2nd interval, ends on, I'm gonna keep it going forever. And then all I have to do, and I'll also be glad to send this to you guys. I'll send my whole template to you. This template is, hey, first name, and automatically adds their first name in it. You guys know that they will actually read the rest of your email. It's like a 60% increase if you put their name at the top of the email. And that's a game changer alone. So inside of here, you can actually hit edit on this, and you can drop, see this placeholders here? You can drop their first name and their last name that's in your database automatically into the email. So, hey, Jeremy Collins. And then it says, have you created an account on my website yet? If not, I want to encourage you to do so. Hey, this is the link to it. And I drop my link to my website account page. So if you go to your website or any website you want to create an account on, and then go down here to account benefits, this page is where I send them to. And so now on a monthly basis, I know this agent does this, and on a monthly basis, he gets anywhere from 5 to 15 accounts created. Now, because some people would be like, all right, Eric, I'm done. Okay, I'll create an account. You send it to me every freaking month. You know, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with people saying yes, and as long as they get the account created. So now the account was created, and you will get an email saying that person created an account, and now they're connected in your database. So what are you going to do? They create an account. What are you going to do? You're going to call them. You're going to text them, right? So if they create an account right here in the CRM, I can click on, let me go back. I'm going to go to contacts and leads. Let's say this Rachel Douglas created an account. You can slide over here and text them, hey, thanks for creating an account. If I can help with anything, feel free to let me know. Send text. It works, and it keeps people in connection with them. And so right here using the CRM, guys, you can actually do all that in one step. All right, does that make sense about the automation of it? We've got to get these things to a place where they're automated. The next thing, which I don't want to spend a lot of time on, but I want to make sure you guys get this, is you can automate reviews. I love, by the way, automating reviews. So what I mean by that is I'm going to go and create one now. I'm going to walk you through exactly how to create an automated review, because we all need more reviews, right? We all need more reviews on Google for sure, because that's going to help your SEO in the long run. So if I go to campaigns here and I go down to, I'm going to create a 1 email drip campaign. Okay. So it's a one-off drip campaign. So anybody add to this is going to get 1 email. And so the way I do this is I go to add campaign. I'm going to call this ask for review, build campaign. And then here's how you do this. You can do it by tag. So I'm going to add, let's say, for example, John to this email just by tagging them. So I'm going to go to add recipients, from scratch, manage criteria, tags. Okay. So now I'm going to use a tag. So I think he's got one in here. Hopefully he does. Let's see. He does not. He did not create a review tag yet. So what do? You go up here to settings, contacts and leads, tags. And so anybody that I tag review, I'm going to send this 1 email to, all right? Without even having to do anything, I'm just going to send it. So now I've set up a review. I probably have to refresh this. Let's see if it's in there yet. Tags, review, there it is. So now I'm saying anybody I tag review, I want to get this email I'm creating for them, all right? So now it probably doesn't have anybody here because nobody's tagged. I just created the tag. And then I'm going to go to the next thing. I'm going to go to emails. Add email. I want it to go out immediately. As soon as I tag this client review, I want them to get this email. So I'm going to say email. Oops, I put load to template. I don't want a template. start from scratch. And I'll be glad to share my template with you. This is the template that I usually send out to my clients. Copy it, and I'll be glad to share with this in a little bit. So let's go Booj. On this email, I just want to send a text campaign. And I want it to do paste. I've got my name in here, Jeremy. Thanks so much for blah, blah, blah. And then I'm going to put click here to leave a positive review on Google, right? And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to link that to my Google review. And it works. So now I've got my link in here. I'm going to hit save. And the way this works is I'm going to go back to save everything. That's all done. Ask for review. Test. That's all. Now I'm going to say activate campaign. And now anybody I tag with review will automatically get an email asking for a review. So for example, if I go here to home or go to contacts, if I'm in here, let's see if I'm in the system. I'll be really mad if my agent did not add me. Oh, I'm in here. Okay. So then I'm going to go to here and I'm going to quickly add a tag, review, add. And in about 5 minutes, I'm going to get a review email asking Jeremy for a review. So imagine at the closing table, guys, how easy this is to, go jump in your CRM. You can go and use your app if you want to, your Booj CRM app, which I love. It makes things so much easier to add contacts using the CRM app. Just go to the App Store, search Booj CRM, and literally download it. And it's everything I'm seeing today. You can do most of it on the app. You can tag people. So can you imagine how easy? Pull the app open, search Jeremy, add the tag review, and then they're going to get an email asking for a review. It's really that simple. And you can even do a secondary email after you send the review email, an email saying, thanks so much for blah, 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 blah. Here's a free gift, right? Partner with a local bakery, include that in the email, a little discount for a donut. It's fun stuff like that that will improve and impress your clients, even your past clients. So think about what automation programs and platforms you guys want to set up for that to make sense, right? So that alone could be a game changer to your business. If you just add an account, create an account email that automates, and then add a review email that automates, those two things, in my opinion, have seen some big changes. The last thing I want to share with you, because I don't want to run out of time, is templates. And templates are right here. So if you go to campaigns, actually I want to do newsletters first. If you're not sending a newsletter out, please do. I had an agent that was maybe 2 weeks ago, got a $1.1 million deal off of a newsletter. Okay. So was it worth their time for 2 minutes to log in and send a newsletter? They will say yes, because they're going to get about $35,000 or something like that off of sending a newsletter. So for people that say it's a waste of time, please go talk to my agent and tell them it's a waste of time because it worked for them. So in newsletters, guys, it's super easy. You go to campaigns, you go down to newsletters, May campaign's already out, right? So you can go in there right now and schedule that to go out. So if I go here to May, I'm going to use this template. I'm going to hit build campaign, and it will automatically bring in the whole newsletter for you. And if you want to, you can add local events to it. Like my preference is don't just send it blank. Don't send it as, it is nice, it looks good, but add local stuff to it. Go search events in Lexington, Kentucky, and copy and paste into this template. Then you got some cool stuff happening. You can even add, if I go to edit here, you can even add your listing to the top of this newsletter, right? Drive traffic to your listings. There's tons of stuff you can do. I love this one. This is actually a cute one. 10 tips for getting your back over summer ready. You can go in here and hit add a block, add a text block, and add local events. Add things that you would recommend doing this weekend, right? Fun stuff that people are going to connect with. And then after you do that, you can go back and you're going to go here, add recipients, and I would hit all. Send them to everybody in your database, right? And if I do that, I can add, and this alone will send out, I don't know how many, here's 186 mailable. in this account. So I could literally hit send, it would go to 186 people. And the bonus to this is you can track who's opening it and who's clicking on it, right? So if there's links inside this email, you can see who's clicking the links. So if I went back to campaigns and I go back to April's newsletter here that he sent out, check this out. It has a 44% open rate of the people he sent it to, 44% opened it. And then you can tell who clicked any links. I don't know if he had links in there or not, so I don't know. But if you did, you can go see who linked it. And then you can actually send them an email, a follow-up email, something else, right? And then you know they're intrigued. All right, question real quick. Hey, Jeremy, Candy asked how would we know automatically that a person has left a review in order for an auto email to thank them for the review to be sent? That's a great question. Man, I wish there was systems set up for that. Typically, I do that manually. My whole goal would make it easier to send the email, right? So it makes it just tag and send the review email. Now, if they left a review, usually Google, if you're doing Google, they will actually send you a notification to it. And there's no way to automate that as far as I know, but definitely follow up with them and say, thanks so much. I would make sure you're commenting on every stinking review you get and say, oh, what a pleasure working with you, and share a bit of the story was working with them inside the review. That alone will bring you more business, right? I think I could probably share with least 3 or 4 more things, guys, but I don't want to waste too much time. I want to make sure you guys at least got those major 3 or 4 points. This is how my agents are growing their businesses. Newsletters, automated emails, automated account ads, right? Inviting people to create an account on your website. And then the 4th one was the automated reviews. Make sure that you're doing this stuff. And the what's it called? The newsletters. Those things work. And if we can add one more touch, guys, do it. The last thing I want to show you is this agent had kind of went above and beyond, and he actually created an automated campaign with videos. So if we went here to, I think he's got under drip. And by the way, check this out. There's templates. They just added like 6 more drip campaign templates inside of here. So check this out. These are all drip campaign templates that are ready to go for you. You just got to add a tag to it and send them out. And so those are all ready. You just gotta hit the plus sign, it'll add right to your thing. So if I go here to drips though, I want to show you this one as an example, just to show you the how complex you can get with it. Let me see if I can find it. Drip, new buyer, I'm looking for a video one. I think this is it. Yeah, so he recorded a video for every email, and I'm gonna pause it on him. I hope I can remember to activate that again. And so he sends out, check this out, he sends out an email with a video. It's a YouTube video on every single email. This has increased his open rates by 50, 60%, guys. So obviously I could speak on video forever. I believe video is the key, has been the key for 10 years. Agents are just slowly adapting to it, right? So if you add a video to your email, it will increase your open rates by 40 to 50% in my experience so far. And so it looks so much better too. What if you got an email like that? You're going to click on him, right? I mean, you're going to click on it, figure out what he has to say. And so those are small tips, guys, that work. The system is, how can I say it? There's some features, guys, that will blow your business up if you use them. So feel free to roll in there and have some fun with it. If you have questions about that stuff, I'm always available. Feel free to, ask questions to me, email me, whatever. And we're here to help. All right. I took up my time. I'm done.
We know Jeremy could go on for hours.
I could literally speak another 50, 60 minutes without stopping. So I'm going to stop and let Heather tell you the cool stuff, the stuff that actually does work too.
Thank you, Jeremy. I do want to quickly add something here. If you guys aren't using the CRM, any CRM, honestly, to its advantage, then you're not making your business run in the background for you. This is kind of the fun part of your business. You get to do your deals all day. You go home, you send out or set up some automatic campaigns, send out your thank you messages, all that stuff. It's kind of a little hassle to get started, but I mean, CRMs make it so easy these days to bulk import all your contacts and easily tag all of them too at the same time. So if you aren't
I'll give you a quick little 2-second. Let me give you a quick 2-second kind of story just to wrap that up. I had an agent that came in that he kept all of his database in his gym bag inside on these little sticky notes, kind of like this. And so when he met new people, he would write a note, he would stick it in his gym bag. He had over 250 notes in his gym bag when he walked in my office. We took all those notes. He had all the data. He had email addresses, he had phone numbers. We took all that data, added it to the RE/MAX Tech CRM, and in about 3 months, we were able to bring him at least 8 to 15 clients that it's working. This CRM is blowing my mind that it was stuck in his gym bag, right? So can you imagine, if we really focus in on this and do that? The last tip I'll leave you before I leave is print your freaking database off on a quarterly basis. Print it off kill some trees, print it off, and then highlight all your missing items. You have a task list then, right? What email addresses do I need to get? What phone numbers do I need to get? Once you do that, it's going to be a game changer to your business. All right, that's it. I'm done. Really, this time.
Thanks, Jeremy. Heather, I'll go ahead and let you take the seat.
I'm starting to understand when people say I talk fast, what that means.
Me and Heather, we're in the same boat, girl. That's how we roll.
Oh, I think you have to stop sharing so I can share.
Oh, here, let me get my crap off. Hold on. How do I remove? Stop sharing. There you go.
There we go. All right, let me see what we got over here. My screen. Yes, good. Okay. So I'm going to go over the websites. The first thing I'm going to do is, just like Jeremy did going into settings, is when you go into your website, I want you to go into your website settings. It's one of the biggest things besides publishing your website, having your featured listings. If you don't have 6, we want yours to display. It'll pull in the offices. If you're running any pay-per-click campaigns or anything like that, you may want to have it restricted, force registration, or just have it relaxed and it's kind of quality over quantity. It's really up to you. These are just kind of the office featured listings. Which one do you want to display? If you do not have 6 listings, it'll pull in from the office if you include it in here. So if you have, your office or your brand, that's going to be, and I guess that would definitely for your office qualify. So you have your office, which would be like your branch, or your brand is going to be all of the offices. So it just depends on where you want to pull to fill in those blanks if you don't have 6 active listings. Right now in this, this market, it's been a little tougher to have those 6 active listings. I remember when Booj first came out, we kind of did custom searches to make sure all their listings were showing, and that's not necessarily the case right now because they're gone as soon as they're listed. So this is how we can fill in that homepage when you're using that featured listing block. Pull in those office listings to kind of fill in the blanks. Otherwise, you'll only have the 1 or 2, and it kind of drives me crazy when it's not balanced. So bring those in. It's going to be constantly refreshing, but your listings will always be the first ones that display. So make sure that you have that set up. Make sure you go into your domain manager. Make sure you add a domain. I would always recommend having your own. It seems to work better when you're doing custom pages and stuff like that, but it's all about your brand, different hashtags, anything like that. Keep it short and sweet, but definitely you just go in there, add a domain, go into wherever, if you use GoDaddy or whatnot, you're just going to follow these directions. It's super easy. I know the RU has videos how to do it. Tech team can help you set that up. I know Jeremy and I have done Zooms to help people connect those. For me, it's always about your branding, your control. For me, I want to have a website that's kind of branded to me. So Heather Moves, 865, whatever it may be, just so that you have that for your branding, hashtags across your social, whatnot. But it's yours. You can control it. If the Booj website is perfect for now, maybe in 5 years, you have this huge team and you need, now you're going to have to change all of your marketing if you've been using your RE/MAX URL. So I just say off the bat, you have full control over your domain, be able to say whatever website works for you. Just like a CRM, there's no one size fits all. But I find the Booj websites for about 80% of the agents, these are perfect. They need something that showcases their area. It has amazing SEO. Typically, I wouldn't say if you have another website to publish another website, but on the Booj, there's no denying the search engine optimization that's already been done because it's linked to remax.com. So when you do a search, these websites are popping up right underneath your Remax profile. So I say publish it. I'm going to show you some tricks. If you do have another website, ways that you can help drive traffic to that website. The next one is your reviews. Make sure you're adding, even if you link it to the Zillow, you link it to, I believe, Testimonial Tree is the other one that you can sync automatically. Do that on your website. Still need to copy and paste let me go into mine because it refreshed. Make sure you're adding your actual, oh no, I wanted to stay on that. Make sure you're adding your reviews, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, have a teenager do it. Super easy. Add your reviews in this manual section. That is what's going to pull over to your public Remax profile. That is super important. Somebody goes to do a search. That number one result is going to be your Remax public profile, whether you want it to be or not. You want those reviews to show up. It shows all your listings, your awards, all of that other good stuff. Make sure that you're just adding a review. It's copy paste. You add it. Whenever I do a website, I go in, I pull in all those, at least 30 to 50 reviews, whether they use Zillow or not. I really want those to show up on their public profile when somebody searches them. So for me, going in, adding those reviews manually, maybe once a month, you add whichever ones are new, but just making sure that some are there just because of this, somebody's searching for you, you want them to see those reviews. Templates, that's more advanced. I definitely use that when I'm building my custom pages. If you build like a local content page for one of your communities, you can always make that. And it's like, okay, I love the look and design. Make it a template. It's basically copying that. Now you have that as a template. You're just going to change the information that's on each page. Navigation. Off the bat, you're going to have some pages that Remax has already pre-done for you, not in your navigation bar. You're just basically going to drag and drop, organize them however you want, and that's going to be really nice. And I'm going to come over. Let me go over to my multi-office. That way you have a ton of different pages, reorganizing however you want. So make sure that you kind of go in there, and now you can go into your pages. I usually don't go into this much because the ADHD, it confuses me. It's in alphabetical order and there's so much in there. It's going to be pages you've done, pages Remax has done, all of that. So I like to organize everything by the navigational bar, and I can just go and edit a page right here. I would say if you're getting more advanced, go ahead and edit the pages, the buyer's guide, the seller's guide, add information that pertains to you, your local market. I mean, there is great content on there that Remax has provided, but I like to add local links and stuff maybe on that relocation, add a video, that's on your tourism websites for your area, anything like that. On the buyer seller guides, I use the Remax. I don't know if you remember the old Fit to Sell and Own It series. There are great buyer and seller videos. Add those to those pages. I love adding video wherever I possibly can. People love video. It keeps people on your site longer, good for SEO, all that fun stuff. I think I'm with Jeremy, video. Let's see here. Then I go over to dashboard. This is where you're going to go and publish your site. This is where I go and edit that home page. There are so many blocks that you can actually do for just off the bat. Yes, you can publish, it's there. I definitely recommend, even if you don't add branding or anything, add a local photo. If you use Canva, you can go to Pixabay. There's so many different websites that will have local area photos. To me, that is super important versus whatever, is stock that comes with these sites off the bat, because I think sometimes there's family photos, sometimes there's, the Remax, old Remax.com, and it shows Denver as your search. Just go in there, add your own. Of course, we add these little guide buttons. You can add your featured listings. It's going to pull in your listings, the office listings. You can do custom searches. Obviously, I have a lot of different office listings, so I've done custom searches to make sure I can kind of add as many of our agent listings to our homepage as possible. Then of course, this is where I've built all of my hyperlocal content, and that links over to these little buttons that I've used. Or
I know you're gonna probably get into this, but I wanna kind of highlight how you created those squares per each local market, and then that valuation, because that to me, even me on mine and how tech savvy I like to think that I am, I'm confused on how you do it.
And I actually have a video. How did I make those circles? Really, I just used Canva and I just used a circle graphic. So the image is still a rectangle, but I have a circle. I added the photo and I added the text on it. This block is the image plus text block that goes three across. So once you add on, it'll make that 3 columns. If I said I didn't want, the home value, or I didn't want the buyers, then I could just only have 2. It's going to make those bigger. But I think that image plus text block is probably the one I use the most, because you'll see it's here. I have it for my opposite locations. I have it here, and I use Canva for everything. Let's see, and I have them here. So you'll see I use just different styles, and really those circles are just, I used a circle element and just threw a photo and I added my text in there, but basically being used the same way.
That makes sense. And then you just have them linked over to that specific page that you're kind of highlighting.
Yep. So all I did is to me, it was just trying to be a little different, but yeah, it just links right over to that page that's already on the website. And the same thing goes for all of these. I just had a rectangular graphic, added the text, used that image plus text box, gave it a title, a little description, and then a click here, which will take them to the page I have already built on the website.
Gotcha. So what Heather and I are kind of getting at with this is her main page that she has us on right now. So what you're doing is creating kind of a visual for anyone on your website to say, oh, home valuation, oh, Palm Springs, or I want to see that. And it's linking them to go over to a different page on the site. So instead of creating a simple home page, you have clickbait essentially. So they see it and they're like, oh, that's interesting. They click it, takes them over to a different page.
And then this one is another option. It's like the featured full length block, which I usually use for like downloading my app or something like that. This actually will take them to view so it's a totally different page than just the city. And it's going to have, I have a lot more cities on this page with the maps. So it's like search beachside, search mainland. So it's actually taking them to more pages than just those, 6 little blocks that are on that home page. So again, it's just kind of adding more layers of content, more pages, all of that craziness. But I love all that. This is what one of the pages may look like. And once the market evens out, because normally what I used to do is we would have city pages. On the city pages, we would use those 3 blocks and I would have the subdivision photos and have pages built for the subdivisions. To me, that is where the search engine optimization is going to put you on that higher ranking, because you're not really competing against the Zillows and the Realtor.coms and all of those. They're really focused on those main cities. But when you get to those subdivisions, unless it's a huge subdivision, it's really hard to create a page because there's no inventory, then there's no listings. But you can definitely do photos, do videos, all of that. And here's one that we did. So right when kind of the COVID kind of hit and it's like, what can I be doing? I'm like, go take videos, go take pictures. We need, it can be evergreen content for YouTube, for your, we'll build a page all about the community. So that's what we did. We built a page. This is a large subdivision that has shopping and everything. He's not in these videos. It's all about the thumbnail. I'm like, he wasn't ready to be in it. I'm like, that's fine. Just talk. And he's talking about the birds or something, the ducks in the pond. Like really, there's just very little audio, but I'm like, I'll create a thumbnail. So at least you're represented in that thumbnail that's going to be showing up. And if you were to play this, it's just kind of all of the different areas that we kind of chopped and put in together. it's all about the SEO on YouTube and having content about the area on your website. Then I made him go and take
idea too. And so, because you didn't want to be on camera, you just put the little.
I'm like, I'll make your face, and it's going to be on there. It's all about that thumbnail. If you saw any of my channels, you'll know it's all about my thumbnail. OCD for sure I love my YouTube. Then I'm like, okay, so the next homework assignment, I want you to go take pictures of all the restaurants. Definitely not a professional photographer. Do not ever just go to Google and find graphics and use them on your website. Biggest pet peeve, biggest horror story, just never, ever, ever do that. I used to pay my teenagers to go take pictures of all the subdivision entrances for gas money. Just on a beautiful sunny day, here's my list, go take pictures of those entrance signs so you have them. As you're showing property, pull over and grab a photo on a nice day. Grab a bunch. I stick them in a folder on like a different album on my phone. And then I'll just, I sync it, everything syncs over to Dropbox. I just have a folder for videos, for photos. And now I have I do videos, landscape, so I can do my YouTube videos and stuff like this. And now, of course, with Reels and TikTok, it's like, I need 2 devices with, multiple hands, because it's like, okay, I got to do 15 minutes this way. Okay, well, now I got to do 15 seconds this way. Just so that it's evergreen content, store them in your albums. So that way you can do the TikToks and Reels and, all that other stuff. But I like YouTube content for your website. So here he went and took pictures. I did, I linked it to stores. You can see there's not many people. This was, right when all the world ended, I guess. So we want to add this content. So if you're working a subdivision, if there's a community pool, a park, things to do, and think of stuff Google doesn't tell you. So for my neighborhood, I know where you can go and pet manatees, and I have the tricks and what to slap. And I'm not going to put on my website to bring cabbage, because you're not supposed to do that, but we all know that. So what the trick is, where to go do these things, like when it's cold not where I live now, but where my main office is, on a cold day, there are parts you go on the beach and you're going to see hundreds of manatees all piled on top of each other to get warm. It is just something that locals know, but not somebody who's new to the area. Tell me a story about the way of living where you are, something Google isn't going to tell you. So think outside the box. You're never just selling a house. You're selling a way of life. Give us that story through video, through photos, through information, your favorite coffee shops, any of that kind of stuff. Super easy to be able to do that. So that's using the image plus text slideshow, or what is that box called, Jeremy? Let's see. It is gallery, the image plus, it's like image plus text gallery. That's going to give you that sliding option. And the other one I use is the image plus text. So then we go over, this is, just a screenshot of the actual map with the photos on it that I used, again, for that featured long lake view interactive map search. That's going to take you to the interactive map on your website. And now we just did a bunch of different searches. So we have the hot new listings. This is where he's able to drive traffic back to this as a landing page, because he has graphics. Check out the hot new listings in OFW is what the locals would call it. Check out featured homes, and that's going to be priced highest to lowest. This is all using that custom search block, organizing it in different ways. You have featured condos, new construction. Use these as a call to action for graphics. So every single week, and he has 7 different searches on here. So he'll have 7 different graphics, all linking to this page, which we also use the Remax URL shortener for tracking. So he's able to say which ones get the most tractions and links and everything else. And of course, if you add your Google Analytics, you'll know all of that information too. Uber important, super, super, super important. Then he has, and I think we have to change this because the market's changed and there's not much for under 300, but it was, what can you get for under 300? What can you get for under 500? I mean, there's so many different ways that you can build on a landing page, content, information, local links, and it's going to help you work smarter. not harder, because you're able to have all these people that are relocating to the area. Oh, go to my website, click here. I have all the information for the schools, for the utilities, for the chamber, for all of this stuff that really is going to help them save your website, not just for searching for a home, but because you have all of this information. And of course, it's good for your search engines, all that kind of stuff. So things to do, different schools, and again, more videos and stuff like that. And you may live in an area that has a ton of tourism videos. You can grab those URLs straight from those websites. And this, he wasn't big when we did this on his Facebook or Twitter. But what we did is we found a great tourism website that's like a live ticker to information that's going on locally. So a lot of agents, they have a Facebook page. So we'll put their feed here. But instead of using like the Remax Twitter account, I go hyper local for each city that I'm doing, whether it be the chamber, tourism, or the actual city. So it's a live ticker of information, photos, videos, all of that fun stuff that you're providing for anybody that's doing that. Another idea is preferred partners. We all love different ones that we use all the time. Wouldn't it be nice if you could just have that as part of your task list when somebody's, purchasing a home? You can have a link. Here's, home inspectors, all of these different things, painters, have information, have all of their content right on your website. Not only is your vendor going to love it, but it also helps you work smarter, not harder, by having that content living on your website. It's a hub of information. So make sure, add links, just baby steps. Seller videos. These are all videos that reside on Remax's YouTube channel. I just copy and paste that link. It is a ton of little quick professional videos. It's evergreen seller content. It's not outdated or anything like that, but it's little quick tips. One, it's helping the sellers. So they're, you're the expert. Look at all this information that you have for them, but it's super nice that it can reside on your website. So there's a ton of different videos that YouTube or Remax already has for you. I know I'm covering a lot, but I'm trying to go fast. If you have a team, I do have a lot of teams that may use their team website, because you get a team and an agent. Again, different styles, but be able to showcase your agents if you want to. So same thing, using that image plus text, you can see that those blocks are bigger because I didn't go 3 columns, they're only 2 columns. But again, these just link out to their website. Everybody's website is consistent across the board, same header for the team. That really allows you to be consistent across the board with your team members if you have that. And then of course, if you have your own website, you can link these straight to your actual website if you have one. So this agent, she uses something else. If you come over here, it's actually taking them to their other website. So they have their own home valuation tool. Link it over there. It does have their featured listings. All of these blocks go to that city on her actual website. So this is where she's able to, help drive traffic to her actual website while still using the Booj platform for that organic search engine optimization that's being done. Does that make sense?
Heather, I want to highlight on that portion a little bit, because I get this question all the time. Not many people know essentially what SEO stands for or what it is, and why using the Booj website in supplement to their own website is a fantastic idea.
Even if you didn't go into your pages to add search engine optimization, I still find myself, if I do a search and I have a published Booj website, I am still second to my profile, whether I want it to show up or not. So imagine if you actually added SEO to any of the pages that you created. And to do that on any of the pages, you're going to go to page details and just add, to me, there's no perfect, I don't know. I'm horrible at SEO. I just say Google's a hell of a lot smarter than me. I just try to make sure my name, my office, you want the word Remax in there, your cities, real estate resources. I try to make it a paragraph. Booj doesn't have like the keyword spot, but it does have the title. It has the description. So if you go on to Google and do a search, you're going to see that blue hyperlink bar. That's your title. Then you'll see that little paragraph sentence underneath of that. That's the description that's going to pull over for Google to find you. I try to make sure all of your pages add SEO to that. All of your pages, and I don't know that I've done it on here. Let me go over to like the seller's guide or something like that, inspection and Remax. So this is one, I haven't added any onto it. This is what Remax already has. So basically you have to go in here, copy and paste it. The bottom portion is what's actually being fed. Then here is where I have it in Google. So it's just copy and paste. This is where you're going to put your name, your office, your phone number, whatever you want to show up on that header. That is where you're going to put that in there. So copy and paste for all of the pages that Remax already done, add to it by adding that SEO on there. And I use this site for training. It's not our app. We have a different website as well, but.
So I guess to put it more in simple terms, Remax does a great job of having really high percentage of SEO, which is just search engine optimization. So that first thing, the first few links that show up when you search for something, usually if you're searching anything Remax, it's like the very first few ones. And Heather is just giving us an example right now.
And if you Google Heather Holiday, it's scary. So don't do that. Because there's a sword swallower, freak show girl, whatever. So it shows all of her handles, her social at Heather Swallows. So it's Google Academy had a blast with me because I told them to use me as an example. What can I do to help myself? Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. But you'll see my Remax, if I search for me, my Remax profile is the first thing that's going to pop up, whether I want it to or not. And usually I don't really use my website. Usually my website is going to be the second one. But the importance of your profile, making sure that is completely full, that your website, all your socials, your photo, all of your bio, the contact. If I had listings, those would show up as well. My reviews, and then listings, because of how I have it set up for my homepage, it shows my office list. Obviously, I don't have listings, but because in my settings, that first one we did for those featured listings, it shows the office. Those are actually pulling over to my public profile. So it'll show yours and pull over those office. So it'll look as though you always have at least 6 on that homepage. But your profile that's like my biggest pet peeve. I know when I do people's website, I always make sure they're, it's just my biggest pet peeve for my agents. We tell them to check it twice a year, and, they'll still have their 1990s glamour shot photo. And it's just I got it, come on, let's do this. But there's a lot of different things that you can do for your sites, because it does populate, it shows up. We want, if you have another website, use it to link people over to your actual website. If, I haven't been able to get the blogs to pull over photos, but this is their actual blog that we got the RSS feed that pulls up, but at least the content's there. So that pulls over there, goes straight over to that blog on their website. It's really nice to be able to use that feed. Me, I don't sell real estate. So my profile, my website is a little different. This is just going to drive people back to, parts of our other office stuff. I used to love the multi videos, used to be able to have those thumbnails. They don't do that now. I'm sure Jeremy as well is constantly on them. Go back.
Always.
So I will never change my template because I have this and you can't get this anymore. Now they're like full length and nobody wants to see me on a 30-inch wide screen. I do not need to see myself that big, but I love this block because I can just add all this video content on there. You can add little buttons that take you over to different sites. These blocks actually go to our actual office website, not the not Booj. My bio, and then of course using video, and they have different elements, and the social feed and all that kind of all that fun stuff. This one's close to pulling a video, but it doesn't. I don't know why. So close. Usually I will use the Remax blog because it's still great content that's constantly changing.
Awesome. Thank you, Heather. Does anyone have any questions? I know we're at 11 o'clock right now. So before we head off, does anyone have any questions for Heather or Jeremy or myself?
Oh,